So there's a couple of things that are in the news. The Thomas Matthew Crooks thing, you know, this is crazy. Went by they, them. It was furry. I've been thinking about this a lot in the last 24 hours. You know, the kid that tried to take out Donald Trump back in July at the Butler rally. It's a year later now, okay? November 17th, 2025. These new reports are dropping bombshells. It is the 17th, isn't it? 18th, sorry. The 18th. These new reports are dropping over and over and over again. And there were things that nobody mentioned in the official investigations. Independent researchers now are using the same kind of digital forensic tools that the feds have, and they're piecing together a bunch of old online accounts tied directly to Crooks' email, his real email, and his name. And one of the biggest ones was on DeviantArt. Okay, that sounds great. Usernames like Epic Microwave and The Epic Microwave. Okay. This site, apparently a huge hub for artists, but also ground zero for the furry community. Now, we're going to get into this a little later because Stu's a big furry, and he'll go right into it where he likes to,
as far as furries go, I'm not that large, actually. More moderate sized. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, this is where people get into this anthropomorphic animal thing, and they turn animals into half animals, half humans, and it turns sexual, and I don't even. So anyway, this kid was not casually browsing. He was deep in that subculture, we find out now. So that's two high-profile attempted assassination cases, or one attempted and one actual assassination case. And they're both tied to the same thing, and nobody seems to be worried about that. Nobody's talking about it. Imagine if we had one attempted and one actual assassination, and it was Charlie Kirk and President Biden. Okay. Anybody. And they both were deep into the GlennBeck.com subculture. Do you think the media would be like, what's going on there? But this thing, nobody cares. Okay. And when I say nobody cares, it seems like our FBI doesn't care either. Our DOJ doesn't care. The Trump case specifically blows a hole into the mysterious lone wolf with no known motive. Wait, what? Now, this wasn't Patel pushing this. This was the Biden FBI that was pushing this. Christopher Wray went to Congress and shrugged and said, well, you know, we can't find any ideology or any online trail that explains this. What? It's right here. What are you talking about? It's right here. Crooks had at least 17 accounts across Discord, YouTube, Gab, DeviantArt, all of it. Easily tracked to him. And as we told you last week, he started cheering for Trump and then went a diehard, 180-degree turnaround in 2020. And then he started echoing anti-Semitic, anti-immigration rants, calling for political assassinations, repeating Maoist lines like power grows out of the barrel of a gun, and even chatting with sketchy European extremists, Nazis, who are linked to a designated terrorist group. He posted violent threats under his real name for years. Now listen to this. He also got flagged by other users who literally tagged law enforcement in their reply. And nothing happened. Nothing happened. They didn't know who this guy was. They didn't search for him. They didn't question him. Nothing happened until he climbed onto the roof and started shooting at Donald Trump. Excuse me? Do you believe that? Stu, do you believe that? They had people online tipping the FBI off, and a didn't even know who this guy was. They had no idea who he was.
I mean, it seems impossible to believe. You find you have one stray comment that is taken the wrong way online, and Secret Service is calling you up. I mean, we I don't bring up.
We've personally gone through this.
Exactly, this exact same thing happened.
I said it on one show. Mm-hmm. Something about Donald Trump.
No. No.
No.
I'm not going to let you get away with that. No. I want to make sure it's clear what occurred on the show was you essentially threatening my life. And I want people to know.
I had been right. I was saying something about Donald Trump, and then Stu got in, and I said something like, "I'm going to choke you to death" or something. Yeah, I think I just need to choke you to death. And people in the audience said that I was threatening Donald Trump. No, I was clearly threatening, and nobody called about poor Stu.
Yeah.
I was clearly threatening Stu's life.
Think about that when you're driving in your car right now. You didn't call. You heard it, and you let my life be threatened, and you didn't care at all.
That's right.
None of you cared, but apparently people cared about it.
That's why I love this audience. That's right. So anyway, the Secret Service was with us 2 hours later. Okay,
rightfully so.
And they said, "Look, yeah, rightfully so." And we had no problem with it. We were talking to them. They're like, "Mr. Beck, we know. We listened to the tape. We know what happened. We just have to dot all the I's and cross all the T's and just get a statement." And I'm like, "No, not a problem." I was threatening to kill him, and they laughed and went, "Yeah, like we can understand that." And they left.
Wait,
okay. This guy, that's the way I remember it. This guy threatens to kill the president and others. People tag him to the FBI and to law enforcement, and they never check into him.
And Glenn, I think people could say, okay, well, the thing we're talking about did happen on a national radio show. A lot of people heard it, and maybe some of the comments on what is deviant art are not as well picked up, and that's probably true. Though we have seen
they sent it to them,
right? They
sent it to them.
Tons of examples of people making offhanded statements where this has happened. Not just a threat, which would be serious enough, but constant threats. Dozens of them, it seems. I mean, we're still, I feel, learning about all the details on this, but a lot of threats from a specific person, and it doesn't seem like, their argument is it wasn't even on their radar. I mean, that's unbelievable. It's
everybody.
horrific.
Here's bare minimum. Everyone should be fired. Everyone should be fired. Not just the top person. Everyone should be fired. I'm sorry, you can reapply, but we're cleaning house. Because this is inexcusable. Inexcusable. Now, here's the other thing that's inexcusable. None of this stuff about the threats, none of the radicalization, none of the violent posts, none of the furry gender stuff even made it into the big congressional report that dropped December 2024. None of this. It was like they scrubbed the kid clean to keep the public in the dark. Let me say that again. It's like they scrubbed the kid clean to keep the public in the dark. Let me go to the comment about from President Trump yesterday. We played it in the news a few minutes ago, where he's talking about the Epstein case. Listen to this.
Here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others. They're all Democrats. All I want for people to recognize a great job that I've done on pricing, on affordability, because we brought prices way down, but they're going way lower, on energy, on ending 8 wars and another one coming pretty soon, I believe. We've done a great job. And I hate to see that deflect from the great job we've done. So I'm all for it. We've only given 50,000 pages. You do know that. Unfortunately, like with the Kennedy situation, with the Martin Luther King situation, not to put Jeffrey Epstein in the same category, but no matter what we give, it's never enough. With Kennedy, we gave everything and it wasn't enough. With Martin Luther King, we gave everything and it's never enough. We've already given, I believe the number is 50,000 pages. 50,000 pages. And it's just a Russia hoax as it pertains to the Republicans.
Okay, stop. So why? Why is it never enough? Why is it never enough? Because the government has lied to us over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Why is it never enough? Because what the hell happened here with this guy? What happened with these two shooters? And you're not telling us about the role playing as a buff cartoon fox wolf hybrid with they them pronouns and then being groomed by foreign edgelords quoting Mao and terrorist manifestos and then going out and trying to shoot somebody. You don't mention that. Yeah, that's why we don't believe the government. And until the government becomes fully clean, immediately on everything, just, you know what, here it is. Here it is. Nobody's going to believe it. Now, what does this say about our kids? We have a whole generation now growing up glued to these hyper niche, unmoderated corners of the internet where fantasy and porn and identity confusion and hardcore political extremism and all of it just smashed together into one stream. What do you think is going to happen? Family, school, real interactions with family, real life friends, they don't touch these spaces. And, how does I feel weird about my body morph into I need to commit mass violence against the world? I mean, this is a 5-alarm fire. When you have two political assassinations, two of them that trace back to the exact same subculture, you've got a real problem. Now, it's not like every furry is dangerous. Well, I know. I question every fur. I mean, I don't even know what. Anyway, there is some sort of radicalization pipeline that is happening, and we're raising our kids in digital petri dishes where mental illness and sexual confusion and violent ideology is all growing together. And then we act shocked when one of our kids grab a rifle. America, wake up. Stop pretending this stuff is just a harmless little quirk, or live and let live. Or we're going to just keep burying victims one after another. Parents and schools and tech companies, law enforcement, everybody dropped the ball on Crooks. For years, the red flags were out there screaming about this guy. And nobody in the government did anything. Nobody in law enforcement did anything. How many of our kids have to climb roofs before we admit these dark corners of the internet are producing real monsters? How many? How many? And this is only the beginning of it.